Hi, hello, and welcome everybody to Sakura Dungeon. Today is something new. I will go ahead and say that this is a modded version of Sakura Dungeon. So, some of how the characters work, like towards the late game, is different, and also on top of that, text dialogue is different. That out of the way, let's get to it. Is this long dream finally over? What is happening? What happened to me? How much time has passed? I cannot say for sure. I cannot say, yeah, but I can tell that I have not been awake for a long time. That's right. I am beginning to remember now. A loud yawn escapes from my lips as I look at my surroundings. I rub the sleep away from my eyes, my blurred vision slowly focusing. That was a good nap. Ah, Fox Spirit. That's her name. It's then that I notice someone else is standing in the room. Night. You, monster. A woman clad in silver armor is pointing a sword at me. She's kind of a rude, excuse me. She's kind of rude considering that I've just woken up. I challenge you, says the knight. I cannot help but ignore her for a moment. Looking behind me, I see a shrine with a crystal in its center. Tapping the strange crystal, I feel my fingers go numb. Tell me, what did you do inside this room? Eh? Says the knight. I solved the puzzles, and you emerged from the mist and came out of it. So it seems like I was sealed in the puzzle, says the fox spirit. I had no idea how the puzzle worked, but this woman was capable of figuring it out. Knight, but enough of that. I know not what you are, but I will defeat you. Fox spirit. Oh, so you're an adventurer. I look her up and down. She does look like the type. I can obviously tell that she's trained hard. Every single one of her movements are precise and efficient. Knight. Know my name, Fox. I am Ceri, the adventuring knight. Fox Spirit. If you're an adventurer, you'd be up to date on current events, right? Ceri. I don't understand why you're asking that, but yes. Fox Spirit. Tell me, adventurer, when did the domain of Queen Isis disappear into the dunes? She just looked at me dumbfounded. Ceri, what a bizarre question. That was during mythical times, hundreds, if not thousands of years. Fox Spirit, oh, so it's been a while then. Several hundred years. I wonder what has changed while I've been asleep. Ceri, did you not even care that I am here? Or do you not even care that I am here? Stop insulting me. She brings her blade down an arching slice. Ooh, Ceri's getting serious. I step to the side, avoiding it completely. Too easy. She looks at where I was standing. Ceri, how? So fast. Oh, says the fox spirit. It seems my power is missing. I can feel the magic pulsing through the room around me. My magic has been siphoned while I was asleep. That is not good. It seems that I am going to have a lot of questions to ask when I get back to town, presuming it's still there. I still have enough power to defend myself against this adventurer, however. Grabbing the hilt of her sword with both hands, she swings at me again. I shall defeat you! Could you please stop that, says the fox spirit. GG, too easy, get wrecked, nerd. Again and again she keeps swinging, getting wrecked every time. She's very fast, but not fast enough. For a human at least. However, she isn't able to keep up with me. Because she's too slow.
Too slow, nerd.
Ceri, no, you cannot be this fast. Only Sonic and the Flash are this fast. It's impossible. Fox Spirit, why not? I just said only Sonic and the Flash are this fast. That's why. You dumb bitch, don't you listen? You just can't be as fast as them. She's quivering anxiously now. Damn it, Ceri says. Ignoring me for a moment, she looks behind herself. No, I cannot run away. Ceri steels herself to fight. She steels herself. Face me, monster, Ceri shouts. She charges at me, brandishing her sword carelessly. I dodge once again. So easy. I've had enough of this child's play. In my hand, a swirling orb of water forms, smashing Ceri in the face. Launching it from my hands, the orb hits the Venture in her chest. The force sends her flying back across the room. Her armor shatters into pieces. Slowly I walk over, looking down as she lays on the ground. She tries to stand back up, but is unable to muster the strength to do so. But she does not look afraid. In fact, she is looking me dead in the eye. Ceri. So, this is it then. I knew this day was going to come eventually. Despite her obvious pain, she forces a smile. Well, you were my last opponent. Could I get a last request? I think you misunderstand my intentions, says this fox spirit. Even though this woman is hostile, I have no intention of ending her life. From my lips, ancient words pour. Mana envelops the room, slowly circling on to the fallen night. Ceri, wait! What are you doing to me? Eventually, I finish the spell and my mana dissipates. Come on, get up, says the fox spirit. Ceri, what? Don't be. Her body then responds and stands straight up. Nani, says Ceri. My body did that on its own. What did you do to me? Sorry, I had to test the spell to see if it worked correctly, said the fox spirit. Ceri, what spell? What did you do? It's just a binding spell, says the fox spirit, a magical contract between you and I. From this day forth, you are my subordinate, and I am your master. You may call me Yomi. I used the last of my power on this spell, so I'm going to be relying on you, Ceri. I'm your what? Says Ceri. Release me from the spell immediately. Yomi replies, sorry, but I can't release the spell right now. First of all, we need to get you somewhere safe. Let's see if I still have it. Checking one of my pockets, I can't help but smile when I see it. Here it is, Yomi proclaims. I firmly grab the knight by her arm. Ceri, what are you doing? Please, tell me what's going on. Yomi, 3, 2, 1. The stone wraps inside my robe. The warped stone inside my robe begins to resonate. One moment we're standing in that room, the next moment we're standing in my hometown. Ceri's just amazed. Where are we? She says. Yomi, somewhere safe, Yomi replies. Ceri, this town that I passed through earlier. Why here of all places? Yomi, oh, good to know that the illusion spell is still working then. That's even better that this town is still standing. What's even better is that this town is still standing. An illusion spell? Ceri asks. I don't understand. What do you mean by... She just slumps her shoulders in defeat. Well, it is somewhere safe. But what does this town mean for you, Fox? There are humans here, so wouldn't this place be unsafe for you? Not at all, Yomi replies. I founded this town myself. We need to disguise the dungeon entrance, so this was our solution. Ceri, dungeon's entrance? Wait, are you telling me that you're... Yomi, The dungeon lord, Yomi asks. Well, I was at least. But I am guessing that I am no longer, that no longer, excuse me, I am guessing that is no longer the case. My connection to the dungeon has been severed, so that can only mean one thing. I have been usurped. Ceri just stares at me in disbelief. Can such a thing happen, Ceri asks. Sometimes, yes, Yomi replies. Let me guess, you, hmm, let me guess, you were there to clear out the monster. Well, yes, Ceri admits, but I failed miserably. Yomi, actually, that's good, actually. Our goals are the same. Anyway, I do not like seeing you walk around in those tatters. Let's get you cleaned up. I take her with me to the inn. As I step inside, everyone goes silent. Everyone immediately stands up and rushes to the entrance. One particular figure stands out among them, none other than Isabella, my innkeeper. My humble master. Is that really you? Really, really, really? Who else would it be, Isabella? Cheers erupt from the inn. Sorry to keep you all waiting, Yomi says. We did not know what happened to you, Isabella says. One day you were here, and then all of a sudden, you disappeared. Where have you been? I was sealed away inside an abandoned room, Yomi says. I do not quite remember how that happened, but I believe I will work it out. I see, Isabella replies. The important thing is that you're okay. We are also glad to have our dungeon lord back. I'm glad to see you all again, Yomi announces to the crowd. However, there is a problem at hand. Yes? Isabella asks. Yes, Isabella says. Unfortunately, in your absence, someone else has taken your dungeon from you. I've heard things are really bad down there right now. Ceri just stares at them. You are all monsters? She asks. Like I said, illusion spell. Since you're currently my subordinate, you can see through it though, Yomi says. She appears to be in a state of shock. Isabella. Oh yes, we've served her earlier. What is she doing with you? She's the one who released me, Yomi says, excitedly. So now I've decided that she's going to work for me from now on. It's not like you to take humans for servants, Isabella says. Well, I have a good feeling about this girl, Yomi replies. She's looking kind of pale, Isabella notes. And it looks like you two had a bit of a disagreement. Her clothes are a bit torn. Please see to her needs, Yomi asks. No problem, Isabella replies. I am more than happy to serve my humble master. She leads Ceri away to the separate room. I'll have a hot bath ready right away for you. I should be able to mend this armor too. Okay, Ceri says. That sounds fine. After a hot bath and a fresh change of clothes, Ceri looks like she has recovered from her shock. Ceri, you're strangely hospitable for monsters. That would normally have cost me hundreds of gold pieces. We look after our own around here. Now then, Ceri, I know that you aren't going to like this, but we have to work together now. You wanted to clear out the dungeon, and I want my dungeon back. I don't think it's unreasonable to join forces, do you? She goes silent for a moment. Well, while I find the idea of working for a monster completely absurd, Ceri says. Starts. Whatever. I know that there's nothing I can do about this spell that you've placed on me. And it is as you said, we share a common goal. To defeat the monster reigning over this dungeon. So I see no point in being angry about about things I cannot change. I accept this bargain, as you say. Yomi says. It makes me very glad to hear that, Ceri. You look like you're quite experienced in the dungeon delving, so I'm sure your expertise will be useful. Ha! It did me no good against you, Ceri says. I haven't had a real challenge in a long time, and it's gone to my head. Ah, getting that ego big, are you, girl? Perhaps this experience is just what I needed. Sometimes you need to take a blow to your pride. It can't hurt now and then, can it? Asked Yomi. Humility is the only way that we improve ourselves. So she lets out a bitter laugh. Ceri, I would have learned this lesson. I would have liked to learn this lesson a different way, Ceri admits. But, as you said, there's no point in complaining about circumstances you cannot change, Yomi reminds her. Anyways, if you need some time before we go on our adventure, I understand. Please feel free to make use of any of the services we have here. Thank you, Ceri says. I think the first thing I need is a drink, though. She wanders off to the bar then. While this entire situation isn't ideal, it can't be. I can't help but be excited. Hundreds of years is plenty of time for things to change. There could be an entirely new human kingdom out. There could be entirely new human kingdoms out there. New monsters I could meet, new food I could eat. It's as if I have stepped into another world. While I cannot say that I was happy being sealed, I want to make the most of this experience. So, let's see what lies ahead. Alright, everybody. Just as she said, I think we're going to see what lies ahead and call it for this episode. Thank you all for joining me for this very, very dialogue-intensive first episode of Sakura Dungeon. Don't worry, we'll get into more actiony things of it. And if you are not already familiar with Sakura Dungeon, it is a turn-based RPG. So that's the kind of things you could be expecting for the next episode. And once again, thank you for joining me, and I will see you next time.